Hello, and welcome. Today is going to be a little rant, unscripted, all that jazz. Really, yeah. Today I want to talk about Ken and Ryu post 3.1 because a lot of people have been complaining about them, and they feel, oh, they're overbuffed, like they're too much to handle now. Even though I think they're mostly talking about Ken. When people are referring to Ryu, they just sort of group the two together because Ken's an echo fighter, even though Ken is probably the most unique out of all the clone type characters. In my opinion, like you don't really play Ken as you do Ryu, so I don't get, like, I guess they just want to group them together. But why do people want them nerfed? Well, that's because they're too strong and too much for people to handle, apparently. Even though it's only been I guess 3 weeks, almost a month since patch 3.1 came out, and how many months does it take for the Smash community to find out a character isn't all that great? Sometimes it takes a few weeks, like in K. Rool or Piranha's case, and then for others, it kind of takes you time to realize that, hey, Ike's Nair really isn't all that great when you think about it, because it's his only kit that really works. I mean, it makes him good, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make him broken or anything. For a lot of people, for a lot of people, when all these new things keep happening, they think, so yeah, if when it comes to 3.1, again, it's only been about a month since the patch came out, and people are already complaining about the characters of Ken and Ryu. So let's talk about them individually. For Ryu, no, he's not overbuffed. You want to know why? Because the reality is that yes, Ryu can hit hard, and he can hit hard. He does, but unfortunately, he sort of just touches you and pushes you away, and then starts camping out with fireballs, which is it's whatever. That's really all Ryu can do. He's not Ken, where he can continuously hit you and zero to death you from reads, mix-ups, or even guaranteed stuff. It's just I don't get why people are complaining about Ryu. He's not fast. He's not one of the fastest characters in the game. No, his recovery is just as exploitable. Less so Ken. I'll explain why in a second. Well, actually, I can explain now. It's because Ken is just faster. It's pretty obvious. People are just complaining about Ryu because, it's well, if we're gonna complain about Ken, why not complain about Ryu? They're both problems, right? Right. Because people don't understand these characters, and because they're, for little people that don't like the Ken and the Shotos being all good and stuff. I mean, come on. they are for in Ryu's case, he's not overbuffed. He is simply just better at what he already did. He was pretty bad at what he already did, but now he's really good at what he's doing, at what he does. He's definitely not mid tier anymore. He's definitely high tier, and I think that's a good spot for Shoto's. High tier, top tier is a pretty good spot for these characters. I don't think they should be for Ryu's case. I don't think he should be nerfed. Ryu's perfectly fine, but I think the main issue that a lot of people have is with Ken. Why Ken? Well, Ken is, he hits you a lot. And hits you a lot, he does. He's really quick. His Tatsu barely has any, and whatever. He's really good. But is he overbuffed? And in Ken's case, Ken has combos. He just hits you a lot, right? But let's think about this real quick. So he doesn't have a neutral. He just doesn't have a neutral compared to Ryu. Ryu can control stage better than Ken does. It's just Ken can get walled out much easier than Ryu can. Ken is faster, and he will close in. But once you realize, oh wait, this character really just struggles to get in sometimes. There you go. That's how you deal with Ken, really. Ken and Ryu have weaknesses. They lack range. A lot of their moves hit medium or high, not low, which means characters like Kirby, Pikachu, tend to avoid a lot of their moves. Just use Ken's Tatsu on Pikachu or Kirby. You won't get all the hits. At lower percents. You literally have to use only your down tilts and your down smash. A lot of their downward moves, it's kind of hard for Ken and Ryu to hit smaller characters. They struggle with a lot of projectile characters and sorties. They still have range issues. Like I said, their hitboxes aren't really that massive in the grand scheme of things compared to other characters in the game. You know, I mean, there are ways to deal with shotos. It's just a lot of the times people find this need to complain about something when the character or whatever is really good now. You know, like a lot of the really good shoto players, primarily like Locust and Ronin X, have been like saying, "Oh, yo, Ken's busted," but even then, that's still an overreaction. You know, because now, like, if you look at their matchup charts, it's you can debate a lot of those. Like, in my personal opinion, I think Ryu's better. Ryu does better in the Ryu versus Ken matchup because of how Ryu plays and how he handles neutral. He can wall out Ken. You know, it's pretty simple for Ryu to deal with Ken. You know, it's funny, but it's kind of true. Like, for me personally, you know, I don't think Ken and Ryu are broken. Like, you know, like I said, like Ken, for instance, right? People are now saying he's top tier, or at least like the top of high tier. But like the reality is, right, is that let's say he is top tier, he's like probably like the lower end of top tier, higher end of high tier. You know, which is a good spot for characters who have a high skill ceiling. And is there anything bad with that? No, not at all. I don't see the problem with characters being good. I mean, I thought that's what the point was, is getting characters who are bad, like really bad, or characters who have like not like have a high skill ceiling but are have literally no reward. I thought the point was to make them good now, but apparently people now find it a reason to complain about them for some reason, just as people have been complaining about characters like Wario or Rob. I don't really get why I complain about Rob. Okay, he can side me off stage and I die at 50. It's okay, but a lot of characters can kill you at like even lower percents for some reason, and I don't see anyone complaining about them. Or, you know, it was like, oh, Waft is broken. It's like Waft only charges in every 2 minutes, and like, it's like, what? On. And even if Wario combos into you, it's not a guaranteed stock, because if it sends the wrong way, you know, or if you get the wrong hitbox, well, there you go. It's like, what was, you know, like, a lot of these things people complain about are really just pointless. They're pointless, because eventually people are going to go and say, you know what? This wasn't really all that great when you think about it. Like, this wasn't all that good. And I don't understand why. Like, I thought this move was broken. Like, I thought Ken and Ryu were busted. And at the end of the day, you know, they're actually, like, when you understand the matchup, it's not that bad. You know, for a lot of people playing Ken and Ryu now, it's just that, like, since no one was really playing them, aside from Parappa, like Venom, etc., you know, no one was really playing Shotos prior to 3.1. And so, like, for a lot of people, this is a brand new matchup for them, because now they have to deal with because now there are going to be a lot more Ken and Ryu players, you know, who are more invested. You know, there are other things that people are bothered by too, like how Ken and Ryu can auto-turn, and you know, it's like, what's the problem with that? Oh, because, you know, you can't cross them up. It's like, okay, and I can understand, like, complaining about auto-turn. Yes, auto-turn does help, but in my case, like, from my own experiences, it also hurts me in some instances, because I want to do certain things, like I want to do a back air, I can't do a back air, or like and even then, like, say for instance, like for me as a player, what I typically do is that I use tilt stick, right? But sometimes if you use a circle pad, I mean your normal not D-pad, it's a stick. If you use the normal stick, you can accidentally turn around Ryu and Ken. Their inputs still, even though it was even though the auto turn was basically to make it easier for you to do inputs, it's not really. For other people, it's like, oh, well, they made it so you can special cancel into your moves easier. It's like, yeah, but if you actually play Ken and Ryu, it was actually pretty hard to get some of the inputs, like literally right after certain moves, like especially jab 1 and 2 was really hard to like get any moves off inputs out of them unless you like buffered it, and even then, like, it was a pain in the behind, is what I'm basically saying. So like, people are saying, oh, here, these characters are privileged, they're broken, nerf them down. Why? Like, what's the main reason? It's because you have a struggle playing against them? Literally, it's only been a month. Like, calm down, relax yourself, behave. Alright, you're whining about characters, then the long run you may say is like, actually, they're not that bad. And then, like, what's gonna happen? And this really applies to anyone. This is even gonna apply to like the future DLC characters, or characters in the future that get buffed, where it's like, oh, I don't think they're very good. Like, I mean, like when characters get nerfed or buffed, people like feel like, oh, now these characters are not usable. I remember back when Smash 4 days, when Bayonetta got that one nerf. Everyone thought she wasn't the best of the game anymore, because, oh, you can't use You can't use side B, I forget what, downward afterburner kick, you can't use that anymore, because it doesn't guarantee kills. It's like, oh wait, she actually has more combos, and like literally a month later, they're like, oh wait, this character's still broken, what the frick, you know, like that's kind of how it is for characters, especially with Smash now being patched. I think it's a good thing. Now, I think really the only thing that should be complained about is when characters get over-nerfed, you know, or have like for instance, I'm gonna explain it for a second. Like, I'm gonna use two characters as an example. Like Olimar, over-nerfed. I mean, up smash is stupid. I agree, but at the very, but him having a bigger hurt box with his shield, full shield cannot cover him. That's dumb. His shield needs to be fixed. Pikachu, no, not Pikachu. Pichu has a bigger hurt box. That's good. Why is his hurt box bigger than Pikachu? Pikachu should have a bigger hurt box too, because he's supposed to be the bigger. All right, but why did they hella? And when I mean hella, I mean hella put so much damage onto that little mouse. He's a glass cannon, and now he's mostly glass. Still cannon, but mostly glass. Like, he's going to die even faster than ever before. Sometimes it even feels like his combos will do the same amount of damage to himself than at the same time to his opponents. It's not good, you know. When a character gets over nerfed, people think now we're going to complain about them. You know, when a character is buffed, they want to find a reason to complain about them, or because a character has a certain playstyle, they want to complain about it instead of getting better at the matchup and understanding what characters work against what. There are over 70 characters in this game. If you're a character who you play can't work, there's probably another character that you can secondary that will work and will help you out in the grand scheme of things. You can't really keep complaining because there's always a workaround versus these things. Alright? It's like, well, I shouldn't have to solo main a character. Well, guess what? In this game, you have to. There are multiple matchups to understand. Like, I don't know the exact number, but there are multiple characters. There's new characters coming in, and people are probably going to find reasons to complain about Hero or Banjo for some reason because they have something so stupid and brain dead. And then when you take a step back, it's like with Roy in Smash 4. Roy, I remember Roy. Everyone was talking about Roy, how he's the new hot buzz around town back in Smash 4. You know, like even ReZero was like, I'm gonna main this character. And then he dropped them. You wanna know why? Because this boy couldn't handle shields. Shields was literally his one weakness, plus having to get in and all this sort of stuff. Like Roy struggled in Smash 4. But people saw him, he's like, he's broken, yo, like he's busted. And then it took them a while, but then they realized, oh wait, he's actually not that great. Oh, people thought Lucas wasn't all that great, and then in Smash 4, now he's actually a really good grappler, but then Bayonetta came around, and you all know that story, but like that's just how it is. Obviously, there are characters that are always going to be good, and there are characters that are always going to be bad. It's unfortunately the way it works, because even if you were to buff every character, characters' designs are just going to make a character worse. Like Little Mac, for instance, you can overbuff his grounded moves, but guess what? By design, he's going to struggle. He's still not going to be like high tier, top tier, because guess what? He has no aerial mobility whatsoever. Like he has no good aerials. Special suck in the air as well. Like that's just how it is, you know. But I don't get this reason of need to complain about something that for every new thing that comes up. Like, watch, when 4.0 happens, we're gonna get a buff to a character, and people are gonna say, yo, this character's really good, and oh wait, no, they're broken, they're busted, I wanna complain and all this stuff, you know. That's just how it is, unfortunately, and that's how it's going to be for the rest of the time. For me personally, I don't think Ken and Ryu should be nerfed. Yeah, they're super strong. Maybe nerf the damage of proximity heavy jab, but literally that's it, because I do think it does a lot of damage. But even then, like, it's just one move I feel needs to be nerfed in some sense, and that's only in damage, because again, they're not that easy to play, you know. People can see it, but you know. I mean, aside from Hazmat was a trash can. Jeez, I regretted watching CEO, watching that guy. How did he get so far? Anyways, that's not the point. The point is, stop complaining about characters. Just wait a bit. Yeah, it's been a month. You know, at the end of the day, it's gonna take a while to figure things out. You know, I mean, who knew? You know, like. I'm seriously puzzled in this whole idea that every character's broken and all this sort of stuff, and yeah, I think that's enough ranting. I think I made my point clear. Just wait a little bit. That's all I'm saying. It's been only a month. All right, Ken mains and Ryu mains are still in the lab, still trying to figure things out. You know, that's still plenty of time to figure out things that they can do and what you can do around them. Relax. Alright? Stop. Breathe in. And just wait. Alright? These characters now may look really good, but later on, they might not be. I mean, you know, it's just how it is. Like for instance, Ike, like I brought him up earlier, he's gonna fall later down the tier list, because guess what? His only move is really Nair. But is that, you know? And people were complaining about that move, and how his Nair should be nerfed, you know? Like, people just complain about things, they overreact to things. Like, mate, come on. Like, just relax. Just wait a little bit, you know? Take the time to realize that, you know, maybe you're overreacting a little bit. And just relax. Breathe in, breathe out. Everything's gonna be A-okay. I swear I'm gonna hear so many. I'm gonna go to Smash Boys. I'm gonna go to Twitter, and people are gonna start complaining about Hero and how he's broken. DLC character. So yeah, that's my full-on rant. I think I'm done. For I think we're gonna make another one tomorrow. Yeah. I think I'm done about Ken and Ryu. If you have any questions about Ken and Ryu, please, you know, let me know. Ask me. I'll gladly answer your most curious of Ken and Ryu questions. Just please stop overreacting. It's only been like 3 weeks to a month. It's going to be okay. Just wait a little bit. Alright. Guess what? Every character has their own form of cheese. Alright, and Ken and Ryu's is that they just got buffed. Wait a bit. Just wait a bit. And that's it. That's all you gotta do. Just wait a little bit. Is that too hard? Is that too much to ask? It probably is, but that's all I'm gonna say. Thank you for listening in. Really, that's all you really have to do is listen in. Sorry for the background noise. This is like my 5th time recording this. Gosh. Okay. Bye. See you later. Name's Sab. Please subscribe, join my Discord, and have a great day, or week, night, wherever you're watching this, whatever time you may be listening. That's all gonna be A-okay. Peace.